From the 1011 streaming studio, this is Star City Buzz.
Hi everyone, Bill Rentschler alongside Danielle, Shenk in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Another edition of Star City Buzz, just letting folks know what's going on this weekend, Danielle, and it is going to be, I think, a busy weekend around town.
Yeah, the colder temperatures aren't scaring off anyone when it comes to these events, and I mean, it's the holiday season, so of course people are going to be ramping up shopping events, fun things related to Christmas, you know, all of that cool stuff, and especially light shows. Light shows,
and that's our big event. We're going to jump right in because there are a number of light shows around town, again, that have already started. Again, Zoo Lights already in full swing over at the Lincoln Children's Zoo. I've already gotten a chance to go. Again, it is money well spent. Again, they do an absolutely wonderful job there, but it's not just Zoo Lights.
Yeah, so we have Zoo Lights, that's happening until December 30th, but then we also have the Nebraska Christmas Lights Show over at Star City Shores. That's happening until January 2nd during the evening time, and then the Magical Lights of Nebraska's biggest Christmas Lights Show is also happening. So there's quite a few different ones, different names, things like that, the Magical Lights and all of that good stuff, but we have, of course, the distinction on our website because all of these have so many different names to them, but nonetheless, pretty lights, and some of them you can do from your car, unlike Zoo Lights where you have to get out and walk through it, but lots of options.
Zoo Lights, Star City Shores, and Sand Hills Global Event Center are kind of where the three big ones are, but obviously you can stay in your car. Christmas decorations are going up around town. Folks decorating their houses, doing a lot of hard work, making everything look very nice.
Yeah, some of these shows, you know, they're about $25, $30 or so, but there's also a somewhat free option that you can check out as well with just paying for gas, and that's the Phillips Lincoln Lights.
And we are super excited. This is going to be the first time in the Star City Buzz's short history, but we are bringing in a live interview with Philip Wagner,
the man himself
who runs Phillips Light Lincoln, and this is a site, Philip, that's been going on for years that I would imagine thousands of families in Lincoln have gotten to use. Thank you so much for jumping on and joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, can you kind of tell us how this all started? What's the beginning of this story?
Yeah, beginning was just my family. We love to go look at Christmas lights, and I think like a lot of families, you want to find the biggest ones you can and the best ones. So I wanted to make an easy map for myself and my family to use to find those. So I would look through, you know, the newspaper and other sites to try and find the best displays. And then one day I thought, well, if I'm getting good use out of this, other people can too. So I tried to share it wherever I could. That's kind of where it started.
It sounds like it's really evolved, and so a big key to this is people adding their homes to the map. And how can people do that?
Yeah, you can do that two ways. You can do it from my site, which is just phillipslincolnlights.com, or the Facebook group is pretty big too. We have like 33,000 people on there, so you can go through there and just post, maybe you found this display or it's your display and you want to try and get it added to the map, and try and include a picture if you can, just so I can kind of add it and look at it and go from there.
And so we're looking at, you know, we're looking at the website here in on the screen, and so it looks like a fairly, you know, simple Google map, but I'm sure there's probably a lot that went into getting this page to where it's at now. Has there been a lot of trials and tribulations along the way getting this to where it's been?
The map itself is somewhat the same. What I've tried to add more with that is probably what I've been trying to do. Like here in about a week, I'll probably create routes, and I'll add that to the page and also the group. So I'll create they're about an hour drive routes in different parts of the city that you can just click on, and it should take you from your location to those stops that I've already predetermined, and it'll take you along and find those displays already programmed from what I've done. But that's probably the big thing. And then we have our contest going on, which has kind of been another big involvement.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that contest.
Yes. So it's our second annual. We started it last year. It's sponsored by our great people at Capital Dental. We're taking submissions now. There's about 8 different categories, and you can see that on our site or on the Facebook group. Monday night, if you want to enter your home into our contest and into one of those categories and top 3 in each category will win a prize, and you can see that on the site as well. And about 9 o'clock to Monday night is kind of your last night you can enter if you feel like doing that.
Okay.
And Philip, I mentioned it kind of as we were introing this, but this I know for a fact because I've used this with my small children. This is something that has brought a lot of families together, I would imagine, over the years. How rewarding is it for you knowing that, you know, kids and even adults of all ages are using this, you know, to spend time with family and just do something nice around the holidays, like just driving around, checking out some Christmas lights.
And what this has become, I mean, over the years, from starting as a small little Facebook page to now this giant map and a contest, all of that big stuff.
Yeah, no words can describe how much I appreciate, and the fact that people can get use out of it, and it's something free that families do, like I tried to do, is all I need from people. 'Cause, yeah, that's the best thing, that people can use it.
Do you know? I'm sure you probably do know. Have you tracked the usage of the site? I guess what's been like the numbers? Like have you seen like a peak? Like how many users have been on the site over the years at all?
No, I mean, I've got like page numbers, but it definitely gets bigger each year.
Nice.
The contest is, I think, going to be bigger this year than what we saw last year. But yeah, I think more and more you get the name out and people kind of find it grows each year.
And so about that contest, can you tell us some of the categories that are involved in that? You said there's quite a few.
Yeah, we have 8 different ones. So you have like best overall, you have Clark Griswold, which is kind of, you know, as many lights as you can. There's even one for like crazy inflatables, which you have to have 5 inflatables for or more to be entered in that category. There's a best newcomer if you weren't in the contest last year and you kind of want to be this year and you want to be in that category. There's also like best theme, best animation, which is, you know, a lot of the sites, the displays set to music, things like that. But yeah, it's some of them. I'm probably leaving a couple out.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And I know the routes this year are going to be a big thing because I tried using this site for Halloween because you do it during the Halloween season as well. And I was creating my own little route by looking at which ones were closest. And so that'll be nice to just have something set out that you're like, oh, I drive to this one and then, oh, where's my next one? Instead of having to like stop, maybe park and figure it out. So that'll be a great addition.
And Philip, my last question for you is again, obviously, I think this might have been the first year you did this for Halloween as well. I guess it's 2 questions. One, is there anything else that's going to be coming? And 2, I'd like to know when, like, in the year that you get started on this to kind of kick it back up.
Yeah, Halloween is getting bigger each year in Lincoln, I think. So we had a huge turnout with Halloween with the contest we did for that. And also just as many, I feel like there's almost as many displays, if not more, for Halloween than there are Christmas. But I probably start Halloween and Christmas are our bigger ones. We probably have a few people put displays out maybe for 4th of July or for Easter, but there's probably not enough to track really for something like that. But yeah, Halloween and Christmas are big. Halloween, we probably started the 1st of October to kind of start getting the map together. And then Christmas, since Thanksgiving was a little bit later, I started the week before. So on November 22nd, I think was the day that I opened the map up. And I think we're already at 60 displays so far. And I would think we'll probably end up about 130, 150 displays by the time we're done.
Nice. Well, Philip, thanks so much for jumping on, taking a few minutes, joining us. Again,
Sure.
Can't thank you enough for all the work that you do, again, both for the Halloween edition and for the Christmas edition of it's phillipslincolnlights.com. Again, I know a lot of people probably already know about it, but if you don't know about it, go check it out.
And we will have the link to this on our website as well and in this story.
So thanks so much, Philip, for joining us. Appreciate it. Take care. Hope you have a nice Christmas holiday.
Well, thank you guys, too. I appreciate it.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
Bye.
All right. That was pretty cool.
That was. I had no routes. That's going to be life-changing. I tell you what. That's a super cool addition.
That is gonna be super cool. And again, certainly a time saver. I know I'll be interested to see all the different routes that he ends up coming up with. So again, super appreciative to him for putting all that work in. Again, it's free. Again, he's just doing this out of the kindness of his heart. So again, families and of all ages can take part in it. And just everyone can take part in. So really appreciate his time. We got a lot to talk about there, Danielle. So we got to
more
get
besides light shows.
We got to get hopping. We usually start with our multi-day events, which again you can check out those Christmas light shows, either at Zoo Lights or just the private decorations all weekend long. But plenty of other things happening all weekend long as well. Want to start off with again Miracle at Robbers Cave. That's going on through the end of the month.
Yeah, that's a pop-up Christmas themed bar where you can go and get some Christmas themed drinks, listen to great music, see some cool lights from in there as well, and then from 9 to 5 is a Candy House take-home kit from the Lincoln Children's Museum. You can just stop by, grab a little kit that you can make at home. 4 to 9 p.m., Roca Mary Farm. Second year that this is happening, so you can wear Roca Scary Farm, Roca Berry Farm. Now it's turned merry, and you can explore Roca Mary Farm through December 14th, and then 5:30 to 9, as we had mentioned, is Zoo Lights over at Lincoln Children's Zoo. That's happening through December 30th.
And then a Nebraska Christmas Light Show, again, 5:30 to 11. And then the event over at Sand Hills Global Event Center, that's happening through the end of the month. Again, that's 5:30 to 9 are, again, the times that it's open. Also happening through this weekend, Pioneer Conference over at East Campus Student Union tomorrow. That's going to be from 7 to 10 p.m. in the evening. And then on Saturday from 8:30 to 3 over on East Campus. This is Women Seeking the Face of God is what they
That's
have.
what the Pioneer Conference was. Yep. And then the best Christmas pageant ever is a fun little musical of some
Lincoln
ornery
Community
kids.
Playhouse. I couldn't quite fit Lincoln Community Playhouse on my graphic here, so I had to abbreviate to LCP there.
Yeah, shorten it up a little bit. And so just some ornery kids that are going to be involved in this pageant. The town doesn't want them to, but they kind of have to figure it out because they're, I think, some big name kids.
And you can see the times of the show there on the screen. But Danielle, again, we had 2 pages of sort of multi-day events, but
Yes.
there's so much more that's happening. Nebraska Community Playhouse has Irving Berlin's White Christmas. The Nebraska Wesleyan McDonald Theater has Rogers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. I mean, almost all the high schools are putting on
A show of their own. Some Christmas themed, some not. There's one, North Stars doing Charlotte's Web. So
Canoyer Garden Center is doing a Sip and Shop holiday preview. Again, you can find all of the events on 1011now.com on our web story. If you just go there and you search Star City Buzz. So let's jump into Friday. Friday is going to be headlined, I think, Danielle, by NCAA volleyball. We're about to hear John Cook. He's about to have his pre-NCAA tournament volleyball press conference coming up here at 5. But Huskers hosting.
Yep.
They're going to have the late game. But early game, I'm sure a lot of people will be there. South Dakota State versus Miami at 4:30. Huskers take on the Florida A&M Rattlers at 7 p.m. Funny story, I was talking to Kevin about this. The first volleyball match that Kevin ever covered was the home opener, Nebraska versus Florida A&M. I believe he said it was 2004, and Nebraska lost.
Yeah, I saw that they had played one time before, and it was a long time ago. But
Kevin didn't quite understand how big of a deal that was at the time. He understands a little bit more now.
Yeah, and I think these matchups are funny because Miami and Florida, they're going to be a little shocked when they get here. Hopefully they have a winter coat.
I hope so.
When they get on the plane and get here. But yeah, late games tomorrow. I mean, tournament's already kicked off. First game was an upset. Loyola beat BYU, so brackets already
busted.
Danielle
filled out 3 brackets already, and she's already got all 3 of them that are busted.
What can you do? Volleyball, huh?
Can't do anything about it. Plenty of other events happening though on Friday, Danielle.
Yes, 9 a.m. as usual. Fridays at Prairie Pines. This will start to end around December 27th, I think, is the last kind of weekend for the Fridays at Prairie Pines and Saturdays at Prairie Pines. At noon, the First Friday featuring Bellissimo at St. Paul United Methodist Church. 5, you can either go to First Friday Holiday Market at Oak Creek Plants and Flowers or First Friday at Clements Noyes Art Gallery.
And also at 5, you have the First Friday Art Walk that is happening. This is going to be multiple downtown locations. It will be at least a little bit warmer tomorrow, so it's not going to be as cold as it's going to be tonight. So that should be a little bit better for that. 5:30, December First Friday. Lots of First Friday things happening. But over at the International Quilt Museum, and then the Bourbon Theaters has Taylor Fest performing. Doors open at 8, and that show is at 9 o'clock on Friday.
Yeah, so they said in the description that was a show for the Swifties by Swifties.
There you go. Jumping into Saturday, you have, I really like what you did with our lower third here. Flake news. Snowflake Showcase shines this Friday. This is going to be from 5 to 8 on Friday. And this is sounds like a pretty fun event. I kind of picture an explosion of snowflakes, Danielle.
Yeah, I'm trying to find on our little spreadsheet.
It's over at Turbine Flats.
That's where. I don't know what. Oh, no, I don't know why I'm not seeing it, but
I believe there's just like pop-up gifts, local crafts, things like that. And I believe there's just going to be a lot heavy snowflake theme when it comes to that event. Again, that's tomorrow from 5 to 8 p.m. over at Turbine Flats. So that should be a fun event. Into Saturday, I think I said jumping into Saturday, and this was a Friday event. So
that's why I couldn't find it.
I threw you for a loop. I'm sorry. Now we're jumping into Saturday. I apologize.
See, this is what happens when I make the schedule and Bill makes the graphics, and then
I forget how I program the buttons and which button's going where, and it's
yeah. But Sewing Saturday is going to be a fun time. They're going to be snowing some tiny snowmen with the materials provided. That's included in the ticket purchase, and it's for ages 6 and older.
That's from 10 to 2 over at the International Quilt Museum. Again, so the International Quilt Museum will be busy this weekend with their first Friday event on Friday, Sewing Saturday on Saturday. Tiny snowmen.
Yeah.
I think I might try and send Liam and Jamie over to that because
why not?
My mother-in-law spends more time at the International Quilt Museum, I think, than anyone that I know. Other events happening on Saturday, Danielle, there are many of them.
Yes, starting at 8, you can go have breakfast with Santa over at the Courtyard Marriott. 8:30 is the Santa Fun Run and Walk over at Fleet Feet Lincoln. At 9 a.m. to noon, you can either go to Hour of Code at the Innovation Campus Conference Center or go see Santa at the front porch.
Also at 9, starting at 9, the craft fair over at the Cooper YMCA. That's going to run from 9 to 3 on Saturday. 9 to 5, again, Saturdays at Prairie Pines, over at Prairie Pines Nature Reserve. That'll be ending at the end of the month. At 10 a.m., Global Fat Bike Day. I'm assuming, and again, I'm picturing the bikes with the big fat tires.
Yeah.
Over at CycleWorks.
Yeah, they said that you can bring whatever bike you have. It doesn't have to be one with the monster tires, but just a fun ride with friends. It's not a contest or anything like that, but you are encouraged to wear a helmet. And then on top of that, they're going to have a chili cook-off afterwards. So.
There you go. It's unfortunate then that the weather's getting a little bit warmer. Chili would have been a good for today or for tomorrow. Saturday, it'll be a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
Also happening at 10 a.m. to noon, Santa's going to be over at St. Paul United Methodist Church.
Santa's got a busy weekend.
He does have a busy weekend. My kids have already spotted him several places, and they're a little confused. So it's getting a little bit more. It might be time
to have the talk.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit more difficult to kind
say
of explain.
Santa has multiple.
His helpers,
and there's only one original Santa, but he can't be everywhere.
There's a prime Santa.
There you go. There's a prime Santa. There we go. 10 a.m. to 3, Holiday Happiness at the Denton Community Center. 11 a.m. you can go have brunch at Mana Games, and then at noon you can either go to Art Bus L&K for their ornament painting or go to the Gateway Mall for an ornament smash.
This sounds fun.
Yeah, it does. They've been picking people. About 96 ornament smashers have qualified, and then they're going to go to the mall, pick an ornament, and smash it, and it's going to have a prize inside.
Ooh. We smashed a lot of ornaments in our house, but there's no prizes inside.
Yeah,
so
and it's definitely not on purpose, I bet.
It's definitely not on purpose. 1 to 2 over at Turpin Outdoor Education Center. They have been doing tri-rifle and then tri-archery, but this weekend it's just tri-archery. The tri-rifle is I don't know if it's shelved for the rest of the year, but it's just tri-archery over at Turpin Outdoor Education Center. 1 to 5, this sounds like it might be a good place to be. The Girl Scouts Holiday Market over at East Ridge Presbyterian Church. I don't know if they're selling cookies yet, or I don't know if they sell cookies year-round. I don't know anymore. But it's Girl Scouts, and again, usually anything that they're selling.
They're selling something, though, at this
It's
market.
probably something that you want.
Handmade items is, I think, what they said. So whatever the little Girl Scouts have been up to.
There you go.
They're selling it. 2
to 5, the holiday music series, Jerry Raynaud is performing over at James Arthur Vineyards. And then at 6 p.m., A Night in Bethlehem over at Piedmont Park Church. That should be a good time.
Yeah, that's a drive-through Christmas nativity starting at the A Street entrance.
There you go. And jumping into Sunday, a fun event. Wax Buffalo's hosting their winter market on Sunday. This is going to be, I think from was it 10 to 3, 10 to 5, something like that?
11 to 5, I think.
11 to 5. There we go.
Yeah, and so they're, of course, bigger and better than ever. They're going to have local makers, downtown businesses, food, beverages scattered all across the Haymarket, and they already have over 150 vendors.
Ooh, that's a lot of vendors.
It's going to be popping.
You're looking at, this is video of last year's Wax Buffalo Market. We believe it was reporter Kirsten Foote.
Yeah, who
was there.
Since moved on to
Louisville. She's hanging out down there at Wave in Louisville. So again, that should be a good event. Again, that's 11 to 5. Again, I believe you can look up on their Facebook page to kind of see some of the the vendors and stuff that are going to be
for
coming.
this German-inspired market.
German-inspired market.
And then also happening on Sunday at 10 a.m. is the Holiday Run at Pioneers Park, the Sensitive Santa at the Gateway Mall, and then at 11 is Christmas Jingle at the Lincoln Firefighters Reception Hall, and at 1, Nebraska women's basketball takes on Minnesota over at Pinnacle Bank Arena.
I should say, also, I should add in there, didn't have it on, I believe they're playing on Saturday, or it might be Sunday, but men's basketball is also playing, but they're going to be on the road taking on Michigan State. That game will, I would bet dollars to donuts, will be broadcast on Big Ten Network if you want to check that out. But the men are on the road, the women are at home, and it's their Big Ten opener against Minnesota.
It's already that time.
It is that time. 1 o'clock to 2:30. You'll find Danielle probably having wine and doing yoga over at Capitol View Winery and Vineyards. And then 2 to 3 of Heartland Tales and Tunes over at Deer Springs Winery. And then 2 to 5, the Josh Lux Silent Art Auction at the Lux Center for the Arts. And rounding out Sunday, Danielle, you can head on over to the Lead Center.
Yeah. Lincoln Symphony Orchestra is performing Deck the Halls, and from 6 to 8 is Shine the Light Walk at Antelope Park. That's just an event to kind of raise awareness about how cold it gets for those that are homeless. And then at 7 is Love and Joy Come to You, Christmas with Wesleyan at First United Methodist Church.
Lots of things happening this weekend, Danielle.
Yeah, and just to highlight that Josh Lux Silent Art Auction, once again, that is to raise funds for Josh Lux, who was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of glioblastoma this summer.
So go money for a good cause.
Yeah, exactly.
And it should be a nice weekend for it. It will be warmer tomorrow, closer to normal. 47 is what we're going to say tomorrow afternoon. Should be a lot of sunshine. And check out Saturday and Sunday.
Woo!
60 degrees.
It's going to be feeling hot.
Both days. There'll be a little wind, which, again, this time of year, you don't get to 60 degrees without the help of a little wind. I want to say the record is in like the mid-60s for those days, so you're not like too far away from a record high, I think both Saturday and for the day on Sunday. But no chances for moisture this weekend, and again, just a few clouds kind of here and there and a little bit of a breeze, but overall, pretty nice December weekend for us.
Nice opportunity to get outside, so, you know, there's a good reason for all of these events kind of popping off this weekend.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed talking to Philip there.
Yeah.
Super cool dude and super cool site. I remember in its very beginning, it was a Facebook page. So I'd be sitting in the back seat and I'd be like telling my mom, I'm like, okay, the Facebook page says to go here.
Yeah.
So.
And we're going to have another story with Philip that'll be on our broadcast and on our website as well after, I think, Matthew Mitleiter, one of our reporters, is going to go chat with him and actually show off some of the cool lights and different things that Philip's in charge of. So
there we go. All right. And again, these are just a smattering what we covered of what's going on this weekend. Find a full complete list on 1011now.com, so make sure you go check that out. Anything else, Danielle?
Yeah, we've mentioned the International Quilt Museum. They're one of many museums across Lincoln that has exhibits out, and so we have a running list of some of the exhibits that you can check out at different galleries and museums.
All right.
As well.
Appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching another edition of Star City Buzz. Again, keep it tuned here on the live stream. 5 o'clock news is coming up here in just a few minutes. Until next week, keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all of your latest headlines. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Hope everyone has a nice weekend.
You've been listening to 1011 Star City Buzz. Watch, listen, stream on the 1011 Now